Hello guys, thank you for joining me here on my channel, The Burakis. Today I'll be making peanut butter soup, also known as groundnut soup. It's a very popular dish in Ghana, which consists of peanuts, obviously. And I'll be making that tonight for our dinner. And when I talk about it with friends or peanut butter soup, they always say, oh, you know, how do you make that? It sounds delicious. Oh, can you give me a recipe? So I thought I'll just show you the steps that show you the way that I make this dish. So there is no wrong or right way, really. All the ingredients are just standard, and obviously people like adapt it slightly here and there to suit themselves. So there is no wrong or right way. I just want to put that out there now before I have any fellow Ghanaians saying, well, that's not how you make it. This is how my mum made it. So I am going to show you how my mum taught me to make it. So let's get on with it. So now I'm going to talk you through the ingredients that I've got laid out here. My mum would usually, well, my mum would recommend to use boiled chicken. She usually goes to Brixton Market to get it, and I think she prefers to use boiled chicken because it holds together a bit better than just ordinary chicken does, because this chicken tends to go quite soft in the soup. But it's not really a big deal. I just think Ghanaians like using boiled chicken because it's just a bit firmer when it's cooked. But anyway, so I've got 3 packets of chicken here. I'm using 2 pieces of ginger. They're quite large gingers. Sorry, I don't know the weight, but you know, if you like your things a bit spicy, then hey, add more ginger. Got some onions, which I'm going to wash and peel. Some mushrooms, okra, Scotch bonnets, the peanut butter, of course. I've got Skippy and Sunpat. It doesn't really matter what brand of peanut butter you use. Just probably don't use a really cheap basic brand, because you know it's probably not going to, it will affect the quality of the taste and everything at the end. I'm using 2 different peanut butters because that's just what I have. I've got 2 opened ones. The kids have opened both at the same time, which is quite annoying. So yeah, I want to finish that up. Some passata tomatoes. I know a lot of Africans like to use fresh tomatoes and boil them and blitz it, but I thought I'll take a shortcut. Tomatoes are tomatoes, right? And some chicken stock, which is not necessary, but I'm going to be using chicken stock. Some celery salt. I'd have preferred to use garlic salt, but I've run out. I don't have any on my spice rack, and I found the celery salt, so that's good enough. Pyrex jar, blender of some description. I'm using a NutriBullet because that's all I've got. And a large mixing bowl for washing the chicken in and for mixing the ingredients later if I need to. Right, so I'm just going to wash all the chicken now in this bowl. Chicken in there. So I'm just giving the chicken a good wash here. Get rid of any gunk that's in here. Okay, so my chicken is washed now, and what I like to do with my chicken is I don't like all these horrible dangly bits here, so I'm just going to trim them off. You can leave them on if you like, but obviously, this is just what I do. Okay, so now I've cut off all them rank dangly bits of the chicken. I'm just going to pour the chicken back into this saucepan because it's just much larger for mixing in, because I'm now going to pour the celery salt all over it and leave it to sit, just soak in. So just sprinkle. I don't really measure anything, to be honest, but just don't overdo it with the salt. Just do it to your taste, really. I suppose I'm putting in equivalent of a teaspoon, and then just work it all in. Work it all in. Put a bit more. Oops. I mean, I've obviously got quite a lot of chicken here, because I'm cooking for 5 of us, so that's why I'm using more salt. But obviously if you had less pieces of chicken, you'll use less salt. So while the chicken's marinating for about 10 minutes, I've just got a bowl of water like this. It's warm water, and I'm going to put the ginger into the water just to soften the skin up a bit. It makes it easier to peel later on, because ginger can be a bit awkward to peel because of well, this ginger's not so bad, but you know, you get a lot of gingers with crevices and nooks and crannies. So if you just leave the ginger soaking in the water, it just makes it easier to get into it kind of starts to peel off. The water softens the skin and the skin starts to peel off. So I'm going to just leave that sitting here for a few minutes while I wash my vegetables. I'm now going to wash the mushrooms next. Just going to pour the mushrooms into my Pyrex bowl and wash them. So I've got my chicken marinating there in the celery salt. I've got my washed mushrooms over there. I've got my ginger over here soaking. And next I'm going to wash these okras. Okras you can get from Tesco's, actually. You don't have to go to like a special African market or anything. They do sell okras in Tesco's. So I'm going to wash these and chop the heads off and the tails off, the feet, whatever you'd like to call it, the bottom. And I like to do that just so the soup the flavour can flow through the okra. So this is how I chop their heads off, just across like that, and the bottoms off like that. Actually, I do recommend using a chopping board. Don't copy me and do this kind of thing, but I'm quite used to cutting my vegetables in my hand sometimes without a chopping board. Right, I just wanted to add as well, for those of you that don't know the vegetable okra, it is very, very slimy. It's very slimy in nature. I don't know if you can see that. It's quite slimy on the inside, but I think it's delicious. It's not even necessary to add the okra or the mushrooms. In fact, it's not necessary at all, but I just think it's nice to have a bit of vegetables. You know, the mushroom gives it that lovely earthy taste, and the okra is just really nice. It's just a really nice flavour. When you cook it, it gets even slimier than when it's in its raw state. So just to put that out there. But of course, this can be made as a vegetarian dish as well. Just do everything exactly the same, but minus the chicken stock and the chicken, obviously. But you could add like some different vegetables, like aubergines and stuff, into the peanut butter soup. But I don't think there are any vegetarians in Ghana. I've never met a Ghanaian vegetarian before. So, you know, obviously we would always use chicken or beef, or I think some people like to use tripe. You know, go crazy. Put whatever you like in there. I've got some Scotch bonnet peppers here, which they're very, very hot, very flavoursome, but very hot. So I'm just going to put maybe a couple of, for a dish of this size, I'm just going to put a couple of Scotch bonnets in there. So onions have been peeled and washed, and I'm now going to chop them all up, all except one onion. I want to put that in the blender later on. I just chop my onions. Right, so now I've got my chopped onions. They're all nicely chopped up. And I've got the saucepan on the stove, got the gas on, and I'm now going to add a couple of spoonfuls of coconut oil. You can use vegetable oil, whatever oil you have. I would usually use vegetable oil or sunflower oil, but I want to get rid of this tub of coconut oil. So in it goes. Again, I don't really measure anything out. Just a bit, just not. I've put in this much. I don't know if that's showing on camera. Probably isn't. Just enough to fry the onions in. I'm sure you'll use your judgment wisely. Now once the oil's warm enough, you can add your onions in. Let me just see if it's hot enough. Yeah. Now just pour all the onions in. And brown it off. Brown it off because it gives a lovely, I always like to brown my onions off whatever I'm doing, because it does add to the flavour dramatically. So I'll just brown the onions off. I'll leave that to brown for the next few minutes. So while my onions are browning, I'm going to peel the ginger. Now you can use, as I said before, you can use a potato peeler. Like that. But when you get to the little nooky bits here, it's quite hard to get out with the potato peeler. So I just like to use the knife, and you can get inside all the hope the camera's picking this up. You can get inside all the nooks and crannies like that, or you can use a knife to scrape the whole thing off. See, the fact that you've had it soaking makes it much easier for the skin to peel off. Right, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop the ginger up, As you can see, I haven't got every single last piece of the skin off the ginger, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to strain it through before putting it in the soup. So we've got the ginger that's peeled. I'm going to chop it up just into some, just roughly that kind of size. It doesn't matter because it's all going to get blended in this blender. I'm going to put the ginger in here. I'm going to chop the onion in half, put the onion in there, and the chicken stock's going to go in as well. So quick check on the onions, and they're browning nicely. Just leave that there for now, and I'm going to pour the chicken stock in here like that. And as for the Scotch bonnet, I've chickened out. I think I'm not going to put 2 in there. I'm just going to put 1, because with the onion and the ginger in here, it's going to be spicy enough. So I'm just going to put 1 Scotch bonnet in. It's better that way than there being too much, then the dish is ruined really. So yeah, let's go and blitz this now. Okay, so now let's blend. Now my onions are brown. I'm going to put the pieces of chicken in. I'll tell you what, this has been really hard work trying to film and cook at the same time. It's not something I'm used to doing, so I hope I'm doing a good job. Am I doing a good job? So let's mix this all up. I'm just going to leave the chicken, go and get the lid for the chicken. The lid, put the lid on and leave that to steam. Leave that to steam for about 10 minutes, stirring it occasionally. Right, so now that my chicken is steaming, I'm going to add, well, not add, I'm going to pour this through the sieve. My blended mix of ginger, onion and chicken stock. Oh, it smells so good. This is why we need to strain it, because obviously the ginger's got lots of, I don't know what you call this, husky, hairy bits. So pour it in there. Work it in. And then all of these juices are gonna go into the soup and steam with the chicken. Into the saucepan, I mean, to steam with the chicken. So my chicken's been steaming now for about 10 minutes. And I've removed the lid. So now I'd add in the blitzed onion, ginger, chicken stock and Scotch bonnet. And I'm just going to pour that all in there like that. And turn the heat up. I'll turn the heat up, not too much. I haven't, all my numbers have rubbed off on my cooker, so it's hard for me to tell you what setting to put the stove at, which is really annoying, but oh, ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, so all the ginger and onion flavour is going to seep into the chicken as it's cooking. So I'm going to leave that to cook here while I prepare the peanut part of the soup. Okay, right, so next what I'm going to do is put the peanut butter into this bowl. Gradually add the water in. You'll have to gradually add it in, don't pour it in all at once, otherwise you're just going to have a big pool of water and the peanut butter won't mix in there properly. So just add a little bit of water at a time. Right, okay, so my memory card is going to run out very soon. I've not got much space on it, but you can see the, I've just kept adding a little bit of water and stirring and adding a bit of water, stirring, stirring, stirring. So it's now like this kind of consistency. And I am going, before I add the peanut water into the saucepan, I'm going to add a bit of passata in there. So here it is, still bubbling away. I was gonna say, let me give it a taste. Oh my God. That is so good. Oh, shit has got a kick to it, but that is so good as it is. It's absolutely delicious. So you could actually have this on its own, like this, like without adding the peanut butter into it. And this would just be called a light soup because it's quite watery. So in Ghana, we call this a light soup and just have it with, you know, fufu or with AMO TUO, which is rice that you roll into a ball. That's equally as nice. So you could have it. Right, so sorry about that. I ran out of memory, which is really annoying. I've really got to get myself an SD card with a much larger space. But I can't remember where I think I was tasting this and I was saying that you could have it as a light soup. You could have it as is. It's really nice as it is. But I'm going to add in the Italian passata. I was going to add all of it, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to add like half. A lot of people use, what's it called? Tomato puree at this point. I don't think it's necessary because tomato puree, you know, the nature of tomato puree actually thickens up sauces and stuff. And it doesn't need to be any thicker than what it's going to be. And let me adjust this. Because once the peanut goes in and it reduces, it's going to be quite thick. So I've not used passata, what do you call it? Tomato puree. I've just decided to use passata. So that's just like half the carton. So mix the passata in. And then I'm gonna add the vegetables in. Now, they have all been washed and cleaned already. Oh, those mushrooms are going to give it such a nice flavour. My kids actually hate mushrooms, so it's great that, oh, I've left them whole. I sometimes chop my mushrooms in half, but I've left them whole on this occasion, just so the kids can pick them out easily. So I'm going to leave that, I'm going to leave this here to simmer for about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back to it and we'll add the final ingredient, the ingredient that will make it, peanut soup. Okay, be back in 10 now. Okay, and now I'm gonna add in the peanut, final ingredient. So in it goes. Oh, look at that. Look at all that nuttiness. Oh my God, this is going to be so good. I'm really looking forward to tonight. Okay, I'll just give it a quick stir, and then I'm going to put the lid back on. See if I can give you a quick close-up of this before I put the lid on. Oh yes, look at that. Oh, it's so good. Right, so let me go and get the lid. So I'm going to leave that in there to simmer for the next hour or so. I might remove the lid. Actually, I will remove the lid now, just so the steam can escape and it can reduce nicely. There. Got all the fam here. Say hi, everyone. Hello. Just having a Mackie D's. Okay, guys. So this is it. Come back to the pot in about an hour's time to see whether it's reduced. Well, it would have reduced by then, and it would have thickened up as well. So yeah, I'll be back. Right, so here's the peanut soup, which is in Ghana called Nkatenkwan. Nkatenkwan means peanut, and kwine is soup. Nkatenkwan. I thought I'd just explain that to you. Okay. So my peanut soup is now finished. This is my desired consistency. It's not showing up on camera. It's actually thicker than, it looks more runny on camera, but it's a very nice consistency for soup, and you can eat this with as AMO TUO, as I said before, which is rice which you roll into a ball and pour the soup over it, or you can have fufu with it, which is kind of is made out of potato. In this country, the fufu is made out of powdered potato, which is mixed and it thickens and you roll it into a ball. But in Ghana, traditionally, we would pound it in a pounder the fufu would be made out of yams or cassava, cocoa yam or plantain. Additionally, if you don't want to have the AMO TUO or the fufu, you can just peel up some plantain or peel up some yam and have the yam with the soup that way, or the plantain. So there are various different ways to eat it, but traditionally it is eaten with fufu. What else was I going to say about this? My peanut mixture with water, I do know that some people do mix the peanut butter. They do the peanut mixture with water, and then they cook the peanut butter on its own to reduce it down before pouring the sauce into the pan to make the soup. I don't like to do it that way. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier on. I just put it all into a pot and just let it all cook at once, and it's absolutely delicious. It's so, so tasty. So yeah, now it's time to serve. So here's my finished AMO TUO. I'm very, very pleased with the way it's turned out. It's slightly thicker than I wanted it to be, but of course you can just add water. I'm not so fussed about the thickness, to be honest. You can just add some water to water it down a bit. But this is it served up with the AMO TUO. And I've done a separate tutorial on how to make these rice balls with sushi rice. So yeah, just gonna serve it all up now, and we're gonna have our dinner. So Aaron, oh God, good job it didn't splash on Eli's t-shirt. So Aaron, what's this dish called? What do you like to call it?
AMO TUO.
AMO TUO.
AMO TUO soup.
Oh dear. Right. AMO TUO is actually armpit in tree. So not quite, Aaron. This is called AMO TUO. Aaron, stop saying that you're ruining my tutorial. Okay, so here we are now, Sunday afternoon, about to eat our lovely AMO TUO. Tell me what you think, guys. So you can eat it with a spoon if you like, but traditionally in Ghana, we eat it with our hands. Great tools.
I really eat it with my hands.
Is it good? Wow, look at that. Yay, big thumbs up.
It's better than I thought it would be.
Ah, look at Madam here with her lipstick. And have a bottle of water at the ready as well, because it's a very filling dish. It's a very filling dish, and you'll probably drink tons of water of this after this. I have to say, by the way, this is not absolute vodka. I do not give my children absolute vodka to drink. It is it is just water in a bottle that I've kept in the fridge to chill. Yeah.
Very good chicken. Very nice soft chicken. Very good rice. You can taste the peanut butter coming through. Very good. 11 out of 10. Nice work.
Thank you. Thanks, Eli. And Aaron, what do we call this dish?
This stew. AMO TUO.
How yours has turned out, if you do have a go. I'd like to know how well this recipe has worked for you. I will have more videos to come as well. I'm hoping my next one will be corned beef stew tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment in the description bar below if you need any more assistance. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.